Hey guys, Sarbjeet here in Fremont, California. I hope you guys had a great start to 2022 after having a kind of rough 2021. I hope 2022 turns out good for us. With that said, I just want to let you know that I'm starting my vlog, my weekly vlog again, which I started in 2019 and stalled it around March timeframe in 2020 because of the COVID hit, and I got out of the office and it was big disruption and I never picked it up again. So here we are. The format of the show is going to be, first we'll do my take on the week's news overall, not day by day. So it's like overall week's sentiment around tech. The next section will be the news day by day. We all know that nobody can cover all the tech news per day in a 20-25 minutes show, but I will give you guys the pointers to the key news so you can go look it up and do your research, whatever you need to do to dig further. And after that, we'll do like my work stream, like what I have done this week, who I have collaborated with, and what I am planning to do in the near future. So that will be the next section. After that, I'll do a big idea section, a big idea or a big question or big challenge for the industry. So here it's going to be random things like, how do we do multi-cloud right? Are we moving in the right direction on the cloud security and stuff like that? It can include the developer productivity and DevOps and other greater things like mobile, where mobile is going, what will we do with the meta and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's the next section. That will be like not more than 3 to 4 minutes from the whole show. And the last section will be the last week's questions. If anybody threw an objection to my talk and stuff like that, I will cover that. That will be like 3 to 5 minutes based upon how many questions come in and all that stuff. So the first section will be like about 2 minutes or so. The second section, news by day, will be like 5-6 minutes, and my work stream can be like 3 to 4 minutes. I'll keep it quick. You don't need to like get bored with my stuff. And the big idea will be like 2 to 3 minutes, and the last section will be 3 to 5 minutes. It will be like 20 to 25 minutes show every week. So with that said, let's start the intro. Welcome back. So Monday was the 3rd. It was the first working day of 2022. So the big news on Monday were Apple hit the $3 trillion market cap. It was huge news. Apple went from 2 to 3 trillion within like 18 months or so, which was crazy. And 5G was getting delayed to be put into our flights, airline. And one big news on Monday was that Tesla has shipped a record number of cars. They shipped 308,000 cars in Q4, but in 2021 they shipped a little over 936,000 cars, which is huge. It was 87% delivery jump year over year for that quarter actually, and their stock jumped 13% on Monday. So all in all, Monday was a kind of good day for the news. Apple hitting 3 trillion, Tesla doing good start, not bad for tech. But the Tuesday started kind of okay. You know, there was a death of BlackBerry, big news hitting wire about tech. BlackBerry service is down. BlackBerry as a company is still surviving, and they have taken their IP into the sort of back end, if you will. They are not serving the BlackBerry service. You can't use their phones anymore. It doesn't route the calls through their data centers, so the data through their data centers and all that. It was known for like high level encryption on the data and hard to crack and all that stuff. And of course the physical keyboards and all that stuff. But that service has stopped as of Tuesday this week. On Tuesday, a big news hitting the wire was from the tech world. Elizabeth Holmes, she has been in news actually for a long time for doing a fraud on. She did a healthcare related technology startup, and she got into this mess where she lied to the investors. There was a trial going on here in the Bay Area, and she was found guilty on 4 counts out of 11, and she's going to face up to 20 years in prison. The key is that it kind of jolts the new startup founders, like, oh my God, can this happen to me? And she, being a woman, can scare some women founders, which are far and few. Actually, we are trying to fight for that equality of like funding for women-based startups or women-led startups, and inviting women into STEM and all that stuff. So I hope it doesn't hamper that, but the optics of it kind of look like it. I mean, I feel like she was being kind of mistreated by media because they want a story, right? But luckily she got acquitted on many counts, so that's good. This is all my take, guys. You might have a totally different opinion, so pardon me if you don't agree with me. So on Wednesday, the CES started. Actually, CES is Consumer Electronic Show, which happens every year in Las Vegas. This is one of the biggest tech shows. I went to 2020 show and it was a blast. 2021 was canceled. 2022 was proposed to be on site, and it happened this week. Started Wednesday, but they cut the on site days from 4 to 3 days. So it happened for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It was going to go till Saturday, so they cut it by 1 day. I got some sort of color from people who were on site. They told me not to come. I was planning to go on Thursday and Friday. Many of them said, don't come because it's not worth it to come here because the action is not there. Even though there were quite a few vendors there displaying their stuff and talking about stuff. Quite a few vendors pulled out of the show. That means being on site, and that includes Facebook, Amazon, Google, and Intel as well. And there were quite a few others. You can take a look at the screen here, and then these were the main vendors who pulled out. There were quite a few interesting announcements during the show, mainly from two kind of verticals, if you will. One was the semiconductors, the chip makers, and the other one was auto-related announcements, like who is doing better cars, and BMW showed their e-ink or digital ink, I think it was called digital ink, that the car can change the color based on your request. You want the green car, blue car, gray car, on the fly, you can change it. Interesting stuff. I think we all know that CES is very futuristic, and many times these things may not show up in real life for many years to come, and there's no gauge there. There's nobody tells you that, okay, this flying car is coming out in 5 years or 2 years or 3 years. They just show you like what's possible, and it's a great show to go to from that point of view. If you want to predict the future better, you can see what's being cooked and all that stuff. And from my point of view, why I went there in 2020 and attended 2021 virtually and 2022 virtually as well, is that I want to see like how these digital sort of services and products are using cloud and edge. So that's my interest in it. So how the computing is changing our products we use on day-to-day basis. During the whole show, the crypto mania was in news, and the NFTs were in news and so forth. You can brush up on those things, what happened at CES at any forum, and that's my main sort of takeaways from the Wednesday there. Thursday was the 1-year anniversary of the January 6th attacks on the Capitol Hill. So social media, its role in politics, its role in society was in news all day. Most of the stuff is debatable, the freedom of speech and all that stuff. As we figured out on Tuesday, one of the Republican lawmakers were banned for life from Twitter. So things are happening still. The rhetoric is there, and how the protection can be challenged or removed or tweaked for tech companies in 2022. Will there be any laws made to curb their power and or to regulate them? That sort of discussion continues in tech circles, and the tech pundits, actually a lot of them gave a lot of commentary, including David Kirkpatrick and so many others. So that was on Thursday. And also on Thursday, John Deere announced at the CES this time, announced their autonomous tractor. So driverless tractor. I belong to a farming family, so I'm excited. I was excited to hear those news, and I believe in this because when you're using tractor, it's in the fields, and there are not a lot of people around in those fields, so it's well controlled environment in a way. The chances of accidents happening is a lot less. So I think from tractors to trucks to cars to other things, other moving things, I think tractors can go driverless before anything else. So interesting development there. Another news on Thursday hitting was that SpaceX is launching 49 new Starlink satellites, and then these Starlink satellites are being launched to give the internet access to people who don't have that right now because they are living in the high hills or the remote areas where the wires can't be laid down, or it's hard to lay down fiber and or other means of internet access. So it's satellite-based internet access. So they are doing that. So they launched 49 new satellites, and they have launched so far 1,500 satellites, Starlink satellites, and they plan to launch 4,000 Starlink satellites by 2024. So on Friday, actually, the tech stocks were under pressure. The Bitcoin was around 41,000. Bitcoin has been down 40% from the top. But Bitcoin, actually, you can trade that all the time, day, night, even on weekends. And I personally am not an investor in it, so I usually am neutral, and I talk about Bitcoin neutrally as a technologist. I get into debates sometimes with crypto, punks, if you will, and I have my own sort of answers to them, but it's hard to fight them. It's hard to fight people who are drunk with the greed, if you will. Tech stocks were suffering, and the Nasdaq 100 hit a 9-month low on Friday, and there was a disappointing job report on Friday as well. Virgin Orbit, which is part of the bigger Virgin umbrella company, went public using SPAC on Friday. That's Richard Branson's company. So that was a week, day by day. So I know it wasn't that smooth, but I'll prepare better next time. So the overall, my week's kind of feeling, my take is that the rising rates are challenging the tech sector. The tech stocks are under pressure, under huge pressure, relatively speaking. They have been very high. The high growth tech stocks are getting punished the most. And another sort of tweet I did was Monday or so, that for overall year 2021, Google did the best from the FANG stocks, if you will, and Amazon did the worst. That's the sort of whole mood going into this week was there. But towards the end, the stocks which did the best in 2021 from the FANG basket, if you will, they did poorly as compared to Amazon, which was being talked about last week, that, oh my God, Amazon didn't do good, it didn't do that good as compared to Google, which almost doubled in 2021. So Google got punished, and Microsoft got punished on Friday as well. And Omicron is causing a lot of news and a lot of sort of volatility in the market. Overall, there's a sense of optimism because it's a new year, but at the same time, in the beginning of the year, you have that virus is still lingering on. It just causes us to worry a little bit. So that's that segment. So now moving to my work stream, I got my booster shot on Monday, and I was down Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday all day, actually. I got my morning tea at 6:30 p.m. or so. And even on Wednesday, 70% of my day was kind of washed away. I couldn't do much. The booster shot, it just knocked me out. So that was my big part of the week. And on Thursday and Friday, following up on CES, catching up on my emails because I was done for 2 days, and then preparing for next week and so forth. So it was not that productive week, but a lot of good interactions with many of you, with all my cloud buddies, and a lot of discussions around edge and versus cloud versus how the big tech is trying to sort of dominate, and how the smaller players can play that role, the multi-cloud and all that. All these discussions were happening. There were a couple of great threads which we did, which I will put that in this video with overlay. Yeah, that was kind of my week. The last segment is what happened last week. So last week, or the feedback from my vlog, which I didn't do last week, so there's no feedback. I actually announced this week on Twitter that I will be doing it, and thanks to you, many of you who have encouraged me and wished me luck, because I need it, because it's hard to keep up with weekly vlogs. It's a lot of work. It takes hours to prepare for minutes of content, and then it's after that you have to do some editing. I wish I can do this live. The problem with the live is that I can't insert the pictures and or the news snippets and all that stuff on the fly. You need a team. You need a team which is well oiled. Not only a team, but a team which actually knows that subject matter, and then they can quickly, while you're talking, they can insert the news on the fly. So which there's no plan to do that in the near future, but till that I will record it and put it out there. So with that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. Friday. That was yesterday. Where's my Friday? Okay, come on here. Okay,